bank decided to be really stupid. At some point within the last month-ish, maybe two, my bank decided to suspend my account and not tell me. I didn't know until my brother decided to try to send me money for a thing, only for it to go, sorry, we couldn't send money to your account, so we had to send the money back to him. And then under that paragraph, there was another paragraph that said, your account has been suspended. And I'm like, what? And then I decided to look through all of my emails on every account I own, by the way, every email account. I looked through every email I had ever gotten from Regions, not mentioned anywhere that I was suspended, ever. Regions decided to suspend me and then not tell me for some reason. It's like, why? That's something you really should tell. It doesn't make any sense why they would suspend me and then not actually tell me so I could, fix it. The only proof I have that it happened within the last between 1 and 2 months for now is my bank statements. And that's the only way I have to tell. It happened sometime between September 23rd and October 23rd, because the 23rd is when I get my bank statements. It's so confusing. Because that's when I stopped getting bank statements. That my account was not doing anything. I never looked at the bank statements themselves, so I never noticed that that it was like a month behind. But yeah, it's so confusing.
This realm.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever have...
This weapon's done. Obviously, I'll work on these last. So we're gonna work on the artifacts. Obviously, the best artifact set is just gonna be over here, Blizzard Destroyer. What's the total for this? 54.8. Huh. That's interesting. Where's the other 37%? 37% is really split between a bunch of other stuff. That's interesting. Normally you have pretty flush numbers. You go here. 63.5, already more. Huh. Interesting that it doesn't show any. If it showed the other things that were used, because this is 69% nice. I used this set. Fascinating. Oh, this one doesn't really show up. Let me check Xiao, actually. Xiao would be the one I would expect to have the lowest percent that show up on here. No, surprisingly not. It's already higher. Xiao does have the highest number of usable sets, though. Let's just go get Blizzard Stray then. Oh, it's been the first time in a while I've done Blizzard Stray. It's usually the one I dread doing the most because it tends to be fairly cursed. And this one I'll use the character I just built that I don't think has her own team. She shows up in the Snezhnaya team, but I don't have a Snezhnaya team yet. Let's just make a team in here. Where is she? Arlechinno. And then, because healing doesn't work, shield. And I need the Hydra, which is you. I feel like putting your last one. I'm actually not sure who to put last. Who do people normally put here?
I shall handle this.
So it's supposed to be this order. Zhongli will always go last because Shielder always goes last. Who else do I put in here? Who did I used to use with Arlechinno? I actually have no idea. Probably Shaman, I guess.
I can't wait any longer.
Maybe. Yeah, let me check if I actually have correct ordering on a lot of my team. Yeah, I actually don't have correct ordering for a lot of teams because I just never bothered to recorrect them in the order I made them in. So like Zhongli shows up second after Hu Tao because obviously I put these two together because the goal is to make it Wang Sheng. Because the goal is usually, this one's confusing because the healer's in first spot, but it's usually DPS, sub DPS, supports, healers, shielders, and if multiple characters share the same role, it's based on other roles and how like what specifically they do in the party. Like, for example, there are 3 healers in here, so. This would be the best. She's not healed up home. Sometimes I do reorder teams if for some reason they feel odd, even in the new ordering. I do want to use her with this set. I want to use her with the dragon thing, just to see how that feels. Crit could obviously use work, but it's more than good enough for me. Still better than the crit I would have for a lot of characters before, especially if they had their own sets. What's your crit? Actually, you can keep the first. Oh, that's definitely the wrong one. Oh. Yeah, I need to stop sharing these HP percent ones.
Stabilize.
Oh, she's doing more than enough damage. Look at that. Oh wait, there's only one enemy in here? But yeah, she's doing way more than enough damage. Hell yeah, I don't need to have... Who needs crit weapons, dude? What the hell? This is more than enough. That's ridiculous. Okay. Who needs crit better than this? This is more than enough. Especially considering I technically have a better weapon if I wanted more crit damage. If I switched, so, like, for example, if I switched from this to this, and then I swapped the... It's like I force crit rate, but if I switch to a crit rate weapon, then it would be better in both ways, right? But the goal is that I don't have to do that. The goal is that this weapon would be more than enough, and it is actually. Just under 50% crit rate is just fine for general use. This because
Witness the power of Gurwa. No, my soul.
oh yeah, it is the only enemy here. She's doing way more than enough damage. That's insane. She's not going to do as much damage as some other people's Arlechinnos, but again, I don't really care about doing that.
Spicy. You're toast. Let me leave you a verse.
It's nuts. Okay, yeah, she's more than good enough now. Some of the stuff I'm using is going to go towards, like some of the stuff I'm getting is not going to go towards Aloy right now, it's going to go towards Tainari because he's still not finished.
Get them. Eat this. Witness the power of Gurwa.
Crumble!
If you ever feel like your builds aren't enough, just know that other people's thoughts on what builds are good are kind of dumb to begin with. Oh yeah. This is a fairly easy team to come across too. Two of them are 4 stars, one of which you get for free always, you're guaranteed to get. The other one you can just come across naturally, especially if you've had your account for long enough, considering he's been in the game the entire time. Zhongli, again, still one of the earliest 5 stars. Generally at 5 star you want to pick up anyways. And then just Arlechinno, and that's it. It's not that much. 2 5 stars, both at minimum. Like minimum constellation and everything. These two are obviously C6 baskets up. You don't need C6. I don't think the C6 particular does anything super good. Rain swords, that's just the thing that surrounds you. It doesn't affect the actual attacks themselves, I don't think. Sword of Rain Code, I think it's just... Oh yeah, that's actually the ult. This affects ult duration, but doesn't increase damage. The Hydra Res is good, but that's just for do more. So that means you could reasonably use them for like Child. That's pretty interesting. For like a mono Hydra team, that's pretty cool actually. Damage ability from fatal range screens increased by 50%. Oh yeah, that's the skilling. Oh, it is. I didn't realize that. Okay, while you're in the ults, apparently this skill does more damage. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah, other than increasing his own damage and reducing Hydra res, these don't actually increase the damage of the main person, which is interesting. Uh, Interestingly, this is the only thing I think that's increasing damage from this. This is the extra attack at the end, duration increase. All party members get a 15% pyro damage bonus. These are the only things increasing damage, which is the pyro res decrease on the enemies hit by Globa, and the pyronado increasing pyro damage, which is why I put her in the team to begin with. I forgot that's not naturally part of her stuff. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, obviously you don't need to put Xiangling in here. I just happen to have Xiangling with the C6, so I can use that effect meaningfully. Her set's not that great either, because I mean, this is just a bunch of random people's stuff. Who else could you put in this spot? I'm actually not sure. I mean, actually, that's a pretty simple answer. You could put someone like Sucrose, who is where? Sucrose. Oh, she doesn't have her own set, right? Again, she's among the characters that share sets because she just needs EM. I mean, obviously she wants VV, but she don't have to give her
Under the
VV.
cover of shade.
I don't think I've ever given a character VV before, like full VV, except for Lanyan. But that was only after I stopped using her as my main DPS for a time. Okay, let's give stuff to... Where am I going? Let's see if I got anything from that. No crits. Yeah, this is going to be a long one, considering my luck with this freaking artifact set in the past. That's to say, it's just absolute dog shit. Yeah. So the Hydro set, rather the if I were to use the Hydro damage part, would I put on anyone? Which I think there are better sets for pretty much everyone. Yeah, it's not even mentioned in that one. Wrong button. You want the new set, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I don't think anyone actually uses this set. Like, it's really good for um, child. And then the only other character, like any character that uses normal charge attacks, realistically can use this if they have like consistent skill usage. Because how long was the last? Yeah, anytime just within the next 15 seconds, which is kind of it. So okay, this realistically I could use it on you, but I do actually like the thought of using Wanderer's Troop. I'm actually not sure who I'd put it on. Honestly, he's the only person I can think of to do this. Wait, where's your fucking flower? Ah, you have it. Let's see if there's this one. This one I think is the one I usually use. Those are the only two I own, other than any new ones I got. Yeah. Yeah, obviously, Vipro usually has a better weapon. I usually have this equipped 66 over 205. But I like to keep this weapon on, because this still works for it. Just go. I like to keep the deathmatch on Wu Tao. I'll fix the thing eventually and get it up to 90, which will give it way more crit rate. Yeah, I think I'll just throw everything else into Tainari then. HP again, bro. What is it with this game giving HP? Okay, crit damage is good. Let's see more crit damage, please. Bruh. Actually, I don't need this many. I'm gonna be honest, the set's not terrible actually. Already got pretty high attack too, with good EN. So this, I like this weapon. You want to have the arrow in the air for up to half a second, which isn't that hard to do. So keeping your distance is actually a really interesting thing. When I first got this weapon and I started using it with Fischl, I would always try to keep it to the back, especially during like co-op stuff. I'd have other people tank it, and keep it away from me while I just fire from the back, dealing continuous damage. Each shot would do like 16, 17k. I don't know how much it is now because that was pretty much around the time, only just around the time Dendro was released, so Dendro was pretty much still not being used at all. Pretty much the single most used character was still Kazuha at that point. How much is Kazuha used to nowadays? I'm actually not sure. Oh, more stuff. I do like this charge. I like all charge attacks that are... I feel like they should do more of these. It's like, it's so cool. Pretty much every sword character uses this. Pretty much every polearm character uses this. Like, I like ones that are unique, especially like Zhongwei's. Like, it's fairly similar, but it actually at least looks a good bit different. Both characters are cursed to always have the same attacks. That's it.
Laid to